everybody. Hello, Longwood Democrats. It's great to have met many of you before. I'm sorry I didn't get to everybody. We've also got some non-Longwood Democrats here, Leanne and Nate. Leanne used to work for me in the budget office for Deval Patrick. They came all the way from Springfield to be here today. And Aaron, who I met, is from East Longmeadow. As Candy said, I am the first Democratic candidate for governor. I am also the proud father of two amazing daughters, Isabel and Abby, the husband of the best wife on earth who grew up in Chicopee, just down the street, and I'm the son of an immigrant and a public school teacher, and I want to tell you about my parents. My mom is from Cleveland, Ohio, and in college, she went away on a foreign exchange program to a little town in Spain called Segovia. 9 months later, she came back married to my 19-year-old father and pregnant with me. I don't think there was a lot of study that was going on that semester. They didn't have a lot those early years. My mom had to drop out of college to take care of me, and my dad didn't speak English and had never been to college. But with a lot of hard work and optimism, he worked his way from laying bricks in a city sewer system to becoming a successful small businessman and a proud American citizen. My mom went back to college when I was in high school and became a public school teacher and a member of the teachers union. They put all three of us through college, 3 sons, and this year they're going to celebrate their 47th wedding anniversary, which is pretty amazing, particularly if you know my mom and dad. So they always encouraged us to set high expectations for ourselves. And they instilled in us a belief that with hard work and a little help, reaching those expectations was possible. Those values, reaching high, working hard, believing in each other, supporting each other, those are American values. And no one has reached higher, worked harder, and accomplished more together than the people of Massachusetts. Think about it. We started the Revolutionary War. We established the first public school and public park. We've invented everything from basketball, and Annie on my team and I just had dinner right next to the Basketball Hall of Fame at Max's Tavern. Invented everything from basketball to the word processor. We were the first to recognize one's right to marry whoever you love, and the first to make universal health insurance coverage a reality. It's who we are, right? We've always been a leader, always. But we're not now, not under Governor Baker. I've been very frustrated with how little we've accomplished on his watch, and I've been even more frustrated with how little we've even tried to accomplish. He's been too satisfied with the status quo, and too often sits on the sidelines when we need him. And that's not good enough, particularly now with Donald Trump as our president. Donald Trump is threatening our values and threatening to take us backwards. We need leadership in Massachusetts right now. We need a governor who's going to stand up and fight for our values and fight to move us forward. In this last presidential election, Governor Baker took a pass and didn't even vote. He didn't even vote. And that's not the only time that he's failed to exercise leadership in the face of a tough decision. When he does take a stand, it's usually on behalf of the wealthy and the special interests and not working families and vulnerable among us. Let me give you one example. He literally filed legislation to sell a piece of the State House grounds, one of our most treasured public properties, to an abutting landowner so they could build an au pair suite onto their Beacon Hill townhouse. I'm not making this up. Meanwhile, he's denying homeless mothers access to shelter. Under Governor Baker, the Department of Conservation and Recreation has been more concerned with parties and politics than with parks and playgrounds. And long before Donald Trump, Governor Baker failed to stand up to hate and discrimination. He ordered state police to work with federal officials to detain immigrants. He opposed Syrian refugees resettling here in Massachusetts. He supported southern states' tradition of flying Confederate flags at state capitals. And he stayed silent on transgender rights legislation and only signed it when forced to do so, and he did it behind closed doors. It's not okay. It is not okay. And there are consequences to this lack of leadership. We've got too many working families who are still being left behind and not nearly enough being done to help them. And we're too often pointing fingers at each other instead of reaching out to each other. To be fair to our governor, His case for being governor wasn't about leadership. It was that he's a good manager, right? Well, he's failed on that score as well. I know about management. As Candy said, I managed the state budget under Governor Patrick and successfully managed it during the Great Recession. And as CEO of a health insurance company, I turned our company around. I know about good management, and we can do a better job managing state government. But here's the thing. Unlike Governor Baker, I believe managing well is necessary, but not sufficient. It's not good enough for our governor to simply accept the world the way it exists and try to manage it better. We need a governor who's going to see the way the world needs to be and take us to that place. I think we need to aim high. I think we should help working families across this state get a better deal and build an economy that works for everyone, not just those at the top. How about paid family leave, a living wage, affordable higher education and health care and child care, a transportation system that actually works for everybody? And now more than ever, we need a governor who's going to stand up for every single person and make it crystal clear that hate and discrimination are not okay.